The restaurant hummed with the usual weekend chaos. The clatter of plates, bursts of laughter, the low murmur of conversation blending into a dull backdrop I barely registered. I sat across from my boyfriend of 3 years, nervously smoothing the fabric of my dress. I had been looking forward to this evening, his birthday dinner, but a quiet unease pressed against my chest, refusing to leave. He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "You really should lose a few pounds," he said casually, loud enough for people at the next table to hear. My stomach dropped. I forced a laugh, hoping he was joking, but the smirk curling at his lips told me he wasn't. "What?" I whispered, disbelief shaking my voice. "You heard me," he said, leaning back, clearly enjoying the attention. "You're ugly. I mean, come on, everyone's thinking it." His friend snickered, and the warmth I felt just moments ago drained away, replaced by ice crawling through my veins. I blinked rapidly, holding back tears. My face burned. My heart thudded painfully in my chest. How could someone I loved, someone I trusted completely, speak with such cruelty and so publicly? I don't even know what to say," I murmured, my voice trembling. "That's fine. You don't need to say anything," he said with a smirk. "Actually, I don't think I want to see you again." I froze. The words landed like a punch I never saw coming. He stood abruptly, the chair scraping harshly against the floor, and without another glance, walked out, leaving me staring at the empty space across from me. My hand shook violently, barely able to lift my fork. The restaurant sounds faded into a distant hum, like I was underwater. Every heartbeat throbbed painfully in my ears. The world tilted. My reality fractured in slow motion. 3 years of laughter, fights, late-night confessions, whispered dreams, gone in an instant. Faces around me blurred as I stumbled into the cold night, struggling to breathe, desperate to make sense of what had just happened. I wandered aimlessly through the streets, clutching my purse like a lifeline. Every memory of him, his smile, the way he held my hand, the quiet nights on the couch, now poisoned. How could someone I trusted so deeply turn on me with such cruelty? Anger came first, sharp and scorching. Then sadness followed, deep, hollow, and unbearable. Days passed. I avoided every trace of him. The restaurant we loved, the songs we once played, the cozy cafes where secrets had been shared. I moved through my life like a ghost, drifting through familiar places that now felt foreign. Then, one afternoon, my friend called. Her voice was hesitant but firm. "You need to see this," she said. I followed, part curiosity, part dread, until we reached a small park near our old neighborhood. And there he was, laughing with another woman. At first, I didn't recognize her, but as I watched, the realization hit. She moved like me, talked like me, shared that closeness I had once held with him. My stomach twisted, my chest clenched tight. The betrayal I had felt at the restaurant was nothing compared to this. I stood frozen as they kissed, deeply, passionately, without hesitation, with a certainty that made every word he had ever said to me feel like a lie. My mind screamed, my heart shattered. But I stayed hidden, unwilling to let him see the damage he'd done. That night, I lay awake, thoughts spinning endlessly. How had I missed the signs? The hushed phone calls, the late nights at work, the sudden distance in his eyes. Love had blinded me. Trust had been my downfall. Heartbreak wasn't just pain. It was a slow accumulation of countless tiny betrayals, each one crushing in its own way. Weeks later, I finally faced him. No tears, no pleading, just quiet strength. "I saw you," I said, my voice steady despite the storm inside. "With her. All of it. I need you to know I'm done." He tried to laugh it off, hiding behind old charm, but his eyes betrayed him, regret flickering too late to matter. I turned and walked away, a strange calm washing over me. It wasn't peace exactly, but it was freedom. In the weeks that followed, I began to rebuild myself. I filled the emptiness he left with small joys, painting, long walks, writing. I spent time alone, learning to listen to my own heartbeat again, remembering that I mattered. Slowly, rage melted into sorrow, and sorrow reshaped into quiet strength. One evening, As the sun slipped beneath the horizon, I caught my reflection in a window and smiled softly. The scars were still there, but they were mine, proof that I had survived something meant to break me. I understood then that betrayal can shatter trust, but it cannot destroy the person who refuses to be defined by it. Walking through the still streets, the wind brushing against my face, cool and alive, I felt it, a deep, undeniable freedom. Life could be beautiful again. The man who once called me ugly, who humiliated me in front of everyone, no longer had the power to diminish me.